crochet the bangs here. I've marked the center stitches in the face, and that's 7 stitches in the middle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And for the bangs instruction, you are double crocheting around in all other stitches except for these center 7 stitches. Let me show you how to work these in. So once you meet that first marked stitch, you're going to insert a half double crochet. Then you're going to chain, and you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Like so. For the next part, you're going to make another chain, and then you're going to half double crochet in the next stitch. Then you're going to double crochet in the next stitch. Half double crochet in the next stitch. Chain, and then slip stitch in the next stitch. Chain, and half double crochet in the very last stitch. And at this point, you should be at your 7th marked stitch here. You can pull out your yarn scrap, and the bangs in the center are now complete. Again, for the remaining stitches, you are going to simply double crochet around. So let's continue with double crocheting in these last few stitches. And, oops, got one last stitch here. And we're simply going to join with a slip stitch to the first double crochet you made. And now we're going to fasten off with a long tail. This is a tail that you'll use for sewing the bangs down to the head. If you do not sew the bangs down, it's going to kind of fluff up like that, which looks quite funny. So let's go ahead and fix that. Just thread your yarn tail through a yarn needle. And we're going to get started on this section. All right, there we go. So I'm going to insert my insert my yarn needle in here, and you're going to kind of sew it down to the round between round 4 and 5. So that's where the double crochets are going to kind of hang out. And I don't go into every single stitch, just the just every 2 or 3 would be fine. So I'm going to skip a couple stitches here and go into the next one. And as you can see, I'm just going slowly around to make sure I stitch the bangs in place. Here's the finished look for the bangs. As you can see, it's been stitched down to the head, and it has a much neater look. Let's talk about the hood's placement, as this could be a little confusing with the furry yarn. When you're crocheting from rounds 1 all the way to 3, you're working in the round and you're joining with a slip stitch. Starting row 4, you're going to notice that I ask you to keep the last 4 stitches unworked. So when you have the last 4 stitches unworked, you're going to work in turned rows, and you're building up the length of the hood. So these unworked stitches at the bottom would go at the back of the doll's head, like so. And when you work in these turned rows, back and forth, you're building the length of your hood. So here, I just finished row 6, starting from this end, and then crocheting around to here. So now, I have finished row 6 and I'm placing the hood over my doll's head to see how it fits. I have row 7 written for those of you who have tighter tension and need a little more to cover the doll's head, which may happen if you've stuffed your doll's head more than mine. So for instance, if you're noticing that the hood looks like this on your doll's head, you'll want to do row 7 to finish up the length. If it's already like mine, I kind of understuffed the head a bit, but if it's looking like mine where the head is being mostly covered, then you'll want to stop at row 6. If I had gone up to row 7, it would hide too much of the face, and I don't want that. So row 7 is optional. Now for this last part, we're going to basically chain the strap and attach it to the other side of the hood, making it stay on the doll's head. So here, let me show you how that works. We're at the end of row 6 here. I'm going to chain 5 and then join with a slip stitch to the beginning of row 6. So let's see how that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I'm going to insert my hook into the other side of the hood and pull through for a slip stitch to join. And I'd want to fasten off with a bit of a tail so that I can weave it in. And as you can see, when you do that, your doll's hood will be able to stay on, and you don't have to worry about it being floppy or fall off. So let's go ahead and snip off the ends. And you can use this tail to weave in. That's that for the hood.